No, not there at all. Hey.
Enjoying how South Hobart's Challenge League team was, as it always is. 2 imports and the front three all played.
Yeah, there we go. I think you're going to show me where that is. Where's that in? Oh, yeah.
Is it close?
Aurora?
It's not that close up. I'll go down.
Apparently we're live, Paul. Our technical issues have been solved and we are good to go in this absolute blockbuster of an NPL Tasmania game this afternoon. South Hobart taking on the defending champions, the Devonport Strikers, unbeaten 5 from 5, but after yesterday no longer in top spot. They do have a couple of games in hand on the Olympia Warriors, who have taken that spot, and they will look to move into top spot and displace them with a win today. So too will South Hobart, who after a slightly sluggish start rounding quite nicely into some form. This is going to be an absolute belter of a contest here this afternoon. Two of the very best teams, two teams who've really had a monopoly on the majority of the silverware over the past few seasons in Tasmanian football, and both looking pretty close to full strength. So this is going to be one to enjoy this afternoon. Big ramifications for whoever can take the 3 points. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call the action on this lovely afternoon here at Darcy Street is Paul Hunt. A very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Andrew. Pleasure to be here, as always, at the original ground of Tasmanian football, Darcy Street, South Hobart Oval, whatever you like to call it. This match has turned up some absolute corkers in the past few years, pretty much since 2016. Every single one has been fantastic. Last year you had Joel Stone's goal at the death, Braden Mann's bicycle kick. Devonport did have the wood over South Hobart last year in the corresponding fixtures, winning 2, and South just winning the 1. So we'll see how that goes today. And once again, proof of how big a game this is. The ball plinth is back out. It's the Tasmanian symbol for a big match, and that's exactly what this is. I'm expecting a heated contest out there. They're pretty used to challenging each other, these sides, but Devonport, a lot of changes this year. You've seen them a little more than I have, Cooling. What have Devonport been like so far this season?
Yeah, we might run through the team list before
just
so we don't rush through it at breakneck speed like Friday night. We might take advantage of this delayed kickoff as per usual.
Standard.
NPL TAS holding true to form, and we'll start with South Hobart before going on to some analysis with the Strikers. And Well, we've seen plenty of South this year. Jack Bowman play in defence, Kieran Brown and Ned Gilly de Souza scored some important goals for them from the midfield. Luke Farrell thought he had a great game last week, really negating the influence of Declan Brown as the deepest of the midfield three. Adam Gorry will have the Adam Gorry flank out there on the far side to himself, no doubt. Darcy Hall has made quite the impact since returning. Toby Havainen had a good game at left back. Nick Morton in the middle of the park. Oscar Thomas will be at centre back, probably alongside Bowman, you would imagine. Jack Turner, I think, will probably lead the line today with Walter and Hall alongside him. Just that physical presence up top, and then plenty of options on the bench, particularly in attack with Benjamin Hamlet and Niski Van Dorn, too. Players who'd be starting in the majority of teams around the league. Real weapons to call upon the experience of Hugh Ludford. In defence, Tay Evans, a youngster who wants to opt for youth, and Graham Wright, the backup keeper. But look, South a little slow out of the blocks, but they've got their full-strength side just about together now, and looks set to make a pretty strong assault on the league title once again, Paul.
I think they've finally, the main thing they've done in the past couple of weeks is settle their back four. They've tried plenty of different players and different formations out there, but last week they had a bit more of a settled and consistent team. Gorry, Bowman, Havainen and Oscar Thomas, the giraffe. It's a bit more balanced. You've got Gorry bombing on down the right, the natural left back that is Havainen, and then up front you'll see a bit of rotation between the front four of Morton, Turner, Walter and the obvious one, Darcy Hall, being fourth. We'll now move on to the Devonport strikers, who look, they're a bit of a changed lineup since last year, aren't they?
Yeah, some new faces in there, and some names a few viewers might not be too familiar with. Ignacio Giampoli, really enjoyed his work. He's been fantastic, a real creative force just sitting behind the striker, sometimes playing a bit of a false nine role. He's been really impressive. Todd Hingston, a name will be very familiar to Tasmanian footballing fans, but he's back and been playing week in, week out, which is something we've not seen from him over the past few years in the NPL TAS, so the strikers very happy to have him there. Guillermo Lazcano, probably the best centre-back in the league, has just been in spectacular form to start the year. Really complete ball-playing centre-half, and set to be complemented by another one in Raphael Reynolds, who was third in the Players MVP in 2017. And he is returning to the club. Hasn't got his ITC yet, so unable to play today. Fortunately, perhaps for South Hobart, Kieran Mulroney, a regular at the back there. Connor Park, another one of those new players. He's actually moved into right back this year, with Eddie Bedwell pushing on onto the wing and scoring a few goals too, and being a player who's played at full-back the past few years, just offers that extra defensive coverage. Dom Smith at left-back, Joel Stone and Daniel Syson, the prodigal son, returning to Devonport. All very familiar names, but welcome names in there. Miles the Fox in the box, Barnard will be on the bench. Jack Dance as well, and Kylan West, a couple of youngsters. The other name that left out there was Max Fitzgerald, who's been playing on the left wing and looks a very lively player indeed. As you can see, our producer, regular producer Ash Wilkes, just pulling out all the stops today. He's got the camera down at ground level, nice and close, and with the close-up shots today, it's going to be a very entertaining afternoon here at Darcy Street. A massive 3 points on the line, and probably the two best performing teams to date in the competition, set to go head-to-head. Devonport, you mentioned new coach Rick Coughlin. He's come in, brought a slightly different style, perhaps from what I've seen, a little less direct. They're quite patient, happy to knock the ball around, pick their moments. We'll see if that's the approach they come with today, or whether maybe being away from home in such a big game, they might just play a little bit more direct and a bit less of the possession style. Really intrigued to see the way these two teams set up today.
It's always difficult to play that more direct style against South Hobart generally, with the strength of Bowman and the height of the giraffe Oscar Thomas, so it wouldn't surprise me again if they're still a little more patient and probably look to exploit the space in behind the fullbacks. Gorry will always bomb on, as will Toby Havainen, as well, as we look at the teams walking out to the centre of the park. In the middle of shot there, you've got Tony Purden, who was running the line in the A-League game on Friday night. Thoroughly unimpressed with Riley McGree's lovely dink he was. Just him running in the background, just did not care at all. I was hoping for a bit of Mike Dean action there from Tony Purd, just giving it a bit of a thumbs up, but ever the professional is Tony. We've also got Stratos, Brenton Copra and Monty Peace as well. Just about the best four you'll see in the state in the middle. And just a quick prediction, I haven't seen a lot of Devonport. They've really taken the league as a storm so far this season, only conceding the one goal. They're really strong defensively. And, well, we've had some free-flowing games between these two. I fancy a bit more of a conservative contest, and I do think Devonport will just steal it by a goal, I think.
Yeah, call me splinters. I'll go 1-1. I agree with you. I think this might be a slightly lower scoring affair. I think we might see a slightly cautious approach by both teams early on. So much to play for. Maybe a bit of the Jose Mourinho theory of the big games against the title rivals. You just knuckle down, a draw's a good result in them, and then take the points off the rest. That kind of a philosophy. But Devonport unbeaten this year. I suppose the toughest game on their schedule was a 1-0 win at home against Olympia, but defensively they've been really solid all year. They've been very tight at the back, but they wouldn't have faced an attacking threat quite as potent as South Hobart, that's for sure. And with the depth they've got, Morton and DeSouza crashing in from midfield, and that front three, they're going to be a real handful and a real good test for this thoroughly impressive Devonport defence of Park, Mulroney, Lascano and Smith. They've been a very tight unit. And of course, Nathan Pitchford, fantastic form between the sticks to start the year. One of the best keepers in the state. Really strong presence, a commander at the back for them. Hotly anticipating this one as Morton and Mulroney come in for the coin toss.
Tony's clearly not done much drama school, just turning the back to the camera there. The number one thing you don't do you learn in acting class there from Tony. It will be a pretty heated contest out there. South Hobart are just starting to find their groove, I think. The first few games, and they had Albie Lazinski up front, they were just playing a little bit more direct, I think, and just with the pace. You've still got Turner who can hold the ball up, but Morton, Walter do love to just bomb on down the wing. And Connor Park, Mulroney, Lascano are going to have their hands full. And as we get set in this matchup here, more pleasantries exchanged down on the sideline. We are nearly underway, only a standard 7 minutes late for NPL TAS. It's about normal.
That's probably, you set the line at about 10 minutes, so we've made good time.
We've hit the under.
And Joel Stone standing over the ball, but in good form as Stone. Real impactful player in the middle of the park. And Giampoli interchanging quite nicely. Daniel Sison getting involved there. And this man, the deepest of the midfielders in Todd Hingston. We're underway in this crunch round 8 NPL Tasmania clash. Adam Gorry up against his former side. Todd Hingston knocking that one back to Smith. And here is Mulroney. Opts to just knock it back there to Pitchford. Cool as you like around Jack Turner. To Mulroney, and this is what we'll see plenty of from Devonport today. They keep the ball along the deck. They patiently build up, or at least they have so far this season. And they're not afraid to take their time in getting the ball forwards.
If I'd have known that was their style, I wouldn't have got distracted procrastinating at study by watching A-League blooper tapes there. I saw plenty of those Cruyff turns from keepers go astray in the last couple of hours. It's going to give me some heart attacks here this afternoon. As we'll see the archer, Jack Bowman, launch one down the line in the Gorry direction. Mulroney coming across to clear and deflecting that one off South Hobart's favourite ranger.
Did that really well, Mulroney. He had the chance to clear it and just waited till Gorry took an extra step and then whacked it straight into him to get the throw in. Could have just cleared it straight away, but wily stuff from the centre back there.
Gorry just trying to get in front there, conceding the foul in the end.
Added plenty Ignacio Giampoli. Looking forward to seeing him turn it on today. It's like Joel Stone, the most advanced of the Devonport attackers. Did well on the wide right, and Max Fitzgerald, been so impressive. He'll start out on the left. Turner flanked by Walter and Hall, as you'd expect for South Hobart. Long ball flicked on by Fitzgerald. The archer, Jack Bowman, back there, so he's sort of nailed down the starting centre half role alongside of Oscar Thomas.
Plenty of competition for that spot so far this season. Hugh Ludford on the bench and Rasmus Phillipson playing in the Challenge League earlier today.
In Havana and his left backs, but it's almost more of a left centre back type role at times, purely from the fact that they just let Gorry have this right wing and
conceding the foul.
He'll look to make a run in behind here. Gorry can get Kelside of Fitzgerald, steered away by Mulroney. Jack Bowman skews that one. See the impact the wind will have on the contest today, blowing firmly behind the strikers in this first half.
Yeah, as off Mount Cunania, Mount Wellington, as always, just comes down the valley and swoops across from left to right of your screen. As Devonport will get us back underway. Throw in into Jumpali, beaten out by De Souza. Old Hingston playing in that defensive midfield role. We saw Bo Blizzard occupy last year. Park's going to be put under some pressure from Walter here. Does well, Bidwell with a good flick. Luke Farrell read that by Charles Stone, both feet in the air. Nothing given there from the referee. Somehow, I thought those 2 feet off the ground were banned in football now.
No, he won the ball.
Oh, he did, but I just thought that action was banned.
Yeah, he didn't take the man. I'm fine with that. If you're going to go, make sure you get it as he did. He cleanly won it in the end. I think Tony Pert's inclined to let them go for it if they're going to win the ball.
I think he's seen a lot worse challenges in his time as Tony Pert.
This one's worked forward. Darcy Hall looking to drive inside here. Just gliding with it is Hall, combining with Morton. Couldn't find Turner, just let Park in. Luke Farrell. Here's Max Fitzgerald. Sison. Out the back to Adam Gorry. Charged down by Fitzgerald again. You throw in South's way. Have a look at close-up vision on this challenge. Beautifully executed. Good vision, that too.
Very good vision there from the sideline cam. All the stops pulled out here this afternoon. Jampowley just to win the throw. Tom Smith, a regular in the side the last couple of years, exchanging passes with Hingston. Rainey will find Connor Park. Walter's clearly been given the instruction to press Park at all possible opportunities. That's surely a push out of the way by Hervinen. Bloke behind me disagrees, but I'll tell you what, that's a foul every day of the week. It was Stone. Launches that one down the line to Bidwell. Bidwell against the giraffe, Oscar Thomas. He's got Jampowley in the box. Bidwell manages to win the first corner of the game. And that attacking intent from Eddie Bidwell. Showed glimpses of it in the FFA Cup last year. And it's really coming to form in the NPL TAS this season.
Yeah, liking his work on the right wing. But, I was a little bit surprised earlier in the year when I saw him playing in that position, but brought in Parker, who's been very solid defensively, and Bidwell, who didn't have a goal to his name in the league heading into this year, has found a few, fired in a hat-trick against Clarence. He's found his goal-scoring touch. This one whipped in by Jean-Pauli. Smith awkwardly couldn't control it, and Gilly De Souza looks to power away. Looks it out wide for Darcy Hall. Cleverly knocked it on for Morton. They're queuing up in the middle. Morton just put it a bit too far ahead of Gilly De Souza. It allowed Pitchford in. He had Gorry and the Brazilian both wide open, but just couldn't quite find a way to work it to him. Jean-Pauli. Fouled by Turner. Mulroney comes in, makes a crunching challenge and cops a bit of afters from Darcy Hall for his troubles.
He's feeling that one, Kieran Mulroney. Darcy Hall. Winger doing his defensive duty. Gets the deflection in the end, so that's probably what caused Pert to not give any foul. Gorry strides forward to take the throw. Taking it from the far side. Launching this one possibly in the Turner direction. Mulroney under absolutely no pressure at all. Concedes a throw in. Probably needed a bigger shout there from Pitchford or Lascano. Gorry takes it quickly. Acrobatic work there from Fitzgerald. Jampowley. And Gorry gets an opportunity to size up the cross. Well cleared by Mulroney. Jampowley tried the back heel control. Trying to get it on the deck. To Fitzgerald. Looks up and hasn't got a whole lot of options. One of them is Gerald Stone. Manages to win the throw in for the team. As we predicted early on, Andrew, cagey affair to start with here.
Yeah, and Devonport are going to be very tough to break through. They've conceded 1 goal in 5 games so far this year. I mean, 450 minutes of football, breached just the once, 4 clean sheets. They've been a very hard side to create chances against. And certainly South Hobart, who've not had trouble creating them, but perhaps have had trouble taking them at times. They're going to need to be clinical this afternoon, because they're not going to get a heap of looks. That was cleverly let run by Sison. Giampoli crosses and blocked by Thomas, but really nice stuff from Daniel Sison, who's just reinvented himself as an attacking midfielder and is really just revelling in the role.
Everyone who's been given licence to push forward this year by the Strikers have really helped themselves. We mentioned Bidwell going from no goals to getting a hat-trick. Sison as well, getting the winner against, I think, Olympia early on in the season.
Classy winner at that. As this one swung in, great ball. Thomas heads away. Jack Turner out after that. Stone just trying to work him under it, did so well. And a raspy cross and headed back across the face. And Sison nods wide. That was a really good chance for the Strikers. He's been in goal scoring form, Daniel Sison, and he couldn't quite find the back of it there, but he probably should have put that one on target, Paul.
We just talked him up a treat there, the salad creator Daniel Sison, and a clear header 6 yards out from goal. He went to go towards the back post, which is the right idea, but just a little too much purpose on it. Sousa finds Turner. Morton just about kicks the leg of his own teammate. Gorry will let that one sit. Darcy Hall Morton making a diagonal run. Eschews that and goes around the defender. Now Gorry. Gorry with a low ball into the box. Lescano stabs at it. Mulraney will help him out. Walks down the line towards Max Fitzgerald, who was in a really good pocket of space out there, but maybe the wind just took that one a little. Gorry. Now to Hall. Real congested in that area of the park, but they find room again through Gorry. Gorry to Turner. Turner! Oh, he didn't make enough purchase on it. He got there just in front of the keeper. It's eventually whacked clear, probably going to bring it back, because Turner did make contact with Pitchford. He got in the right spot there, did Jack Turner, and he's cleaned up the keeper afterwards, but a little bit more purchase on it, and that is 1-0 to South Hobart. As we'll have a minute here to assess the Pitchford situation. Turner scored or created from a similar position in the last game between these sides last year, just making those runs into the front of the 6-yard box. Walter Pless there looking very comfortable with himself there on the far side.
Have a look at the great walk.
Absolute luxury there in the corner. Would have got a very good snap of that situation, I reckon, that we'll be seeing in the coming days.
Seeing himself up, and this is classic South Hobart, isn't it? Morton gets the ball, rolls it out to Gorry wide. Turner makes that bursting run through, and he's come flying over the top of Pitchford, who's copped the nasty one there. It's body on the line from the keeper, and he got somewhat clobbered.
Well, he didn't put him on the team sheet, but I think they have brought a spare keeper with them today here, Devonport, Jordan Usher.
The bizarre decision to not bring a backup keeper, I'd have thought.
You sometimes see it. And,
I wouldn't have thought so from this Devonport team. And, the dominant team in Tasmanian football past couple of seasons. Started the year very well. I mean, you hate to drop points because you didn't bring a backup keeper down the highway. But Pitchford seems like he's going to be all right to continue, which is a good sign. Back to his feet now.
South Hobart's shirt this season is getting more and more like the back of a cycling kit as well. Just sponsors plowed everywhere. Noticing that zoom in on Alex Walter. Good to see.
Yeah, good to see money coming into the local gap.
Absolutely.
Keep zooming in to give them all the exposure they can
absolutely. I won't name them, but good range there on the back.
Always get a hankering for chips and gravy whenever I watch South Hobart play, especially when they play Devonport. You combine the two things together there. Just straight where the mind goes. But anyway, we're ready to resume here. Pitchford back on his feet, says let's go. And you imagine this will just be knocked back to the Strikers.
Tony's just waiting for a South Hobart player to put his hand up and kick it back.
Farrell eventually observes the formalities and Pitchford set to go. Oh, perhaps showing some ill effects of the knock there. A poor throw. Park under pressure. Morton in space now. Just chips one into the box. Dom Smith stretching in it there. Darcy Hall checks inside. Back for DeSouza. What a save, Pitchford. Well, he is all right, that's for sure. showing no ill effects there. That is class from Pitchford. A massive save.
Had to readjust his body very quickly there. Did Pitchford. De Souza did the right thing and hit it away from where the keeper's body weight was shifting, but he got back quickly. Did Pitchford and kept his side all square. And as Giampoli now goes to chip ball over the top in the Fitzgerald direction. First chance to see his pace. And that is a foul by the archer, Jack Bowman, on the pacey winger, Max Fitzgerald. Coach Harry Coughlin managed to lure it from the Gold Coast in the off-season. Just knocks it in front of the defender, and there's not a huge amount of contact.
Went down pretty easy.
He knew exactly what he wanted there, did Fitzgerald.
Having a good year for them on the wing, Fitzgerald. Beautiful assist up against Riverside a couple of weeks ago. Just swung in across. Well, I think it was Giampoli. These main things happen. And they always needed some reinforcements in that area with Braden Mann and Michael Holden departing, and they've managed to cover their loss pretty well so far with the restructured forward line, as this one's chipped in and goes to the back post and took a flick off a South Hobart body, I think, so it'll be another corner for the Strikers. Nice free kick from Sison, teasing one. Vanen, I think, with a slight touch on it. Going to take it short. Sison gets around Morton, then swings it in near post. Making the run was Lascano. Took it away from the keeper. Heavy touch from Bowman back into danger, but Alex Walter whacks that one away. Darcy Hall trying to bring it down. Clever back heel. That's not worked out though, because Giampoli gets on it, plays a 1-2 with Sison. And Darcy Hall doing well defensively, wins 2 big challenges there. Havanen up to Morton, left it behind. Stone sweating on him, but Havanen able to take them away. It wasn't the best pass for Gorry. Fitzgerald able to track back and win it, and he will drop it off for Smith.
Mulraney playing Lascano. South really pressing with all 4 of their attacking players, making it difficult for the Strikers to play out. Smith just keeps the ball in on the far side. Giampoli. Bowman's managed to get that caught between his knees and then backheels it to Gorry. And calls the referee here. Looks like just in front of us, Darcy Hall's hit the deck. For some medical attention.
Randy Coffrus just got to get his positioning right there, mate. We've got the second camera down at ground level for a reason, buddy.
Not used to having the camera right behind him, Brenton Coffra.
This will be a concern for South Hobart. Darcy Hall down and looking the happiest. They've got Iski Van Dorn and Ben Hamlet on the bench, so there's good options to replace him as he's going to see. And it looks like Iski Van Dorn might be the one who's been tapped on the shoulder here. He's limbering up and he's got the jacket off, so we might see the Canadian thrust in a little earlier than expected.
Just once again, if we go back to the sideline camera, we get to see Iski Van Dorn's wonderful salad there as Darcy Hall gets off the pitch. It'll be pretty much a like-for-like replacement in terms of positioning. Iski Van Dorn flying down the wing heaps for Zebras last year. Moved back home to Canada and then decided to come back out playing the NPL TAS again. There's Walter battling with Smith. And Smith wins that battle. Strikers now through Giampoli. Morton's attention, he's all over him, tries to go to Fitzgerald, who hits the return ball, the pace with Giampoli trying to get around Bowman. Bowman with the step over. And will there be a foul or a corner? It will be a corner. Very good pressure there from Ignacio Giampoli.
I think Jack Bowman just asking the question why, when there was a little touch in the back the other way 2 minutes earlier, it wasn't called. Or it was called rather, and this one wasn't. So the Strikers get a corner. Daniel Sison again to take. The salad artist himself swings this one in right to the mixer. Punch away from Brown. Should be behind. That's going to just inside there for Loic Farrell to sweep up, and the Frenchman knocks it long. Van Dorn worked it further afield. Fitzgerald back there for the Strikers, under pressure from Morton, combining with Lascano. The Sousa, the best from Van Dorn. Brandon out of play. Park wants to take it quickly, just puts it out in front of Eddie Bidwell. A bit too far out in front of him as it happens. Van Dorn, as you mentioned, returning. Raphael Reynolds going to return to the Strikers for a second stint. We've seen Gian Sopos and Fisher come back. The imports, they come down to Tassie and they tend to like it, Paul.
Well, I don't blame them. I mean, it's a great place to play football, great place to live, great place to visit. It's got everything you want. As long as everyone stops moving here and gouging up our house prices, it's a great place to live. As Morton finds Van Dorn. Morton, he's got some attentions there from Bidwell. And just to win the throw. Vinen launches that one down the line. Van Dorn can't quite find a teammate at 2 attempts. And Lascano thumps that one clear. Thomas. Eddie Bidwell just uses his body well to shield it away from the South Hobart player. Either side being able to string too many passes together here. Now, Big G tries to find a teammate. Cocker again, really. Not observing our sideline camera there. We'll assume that's a foul. It's happened right in front of the pole that we have here at South Hobart's grandstand.
Right in front of our other camera too, though, I reckon. As we have a look at Stone here, and it's a clear foul. I think he'll be all right though, Stoney. Hammied up a little as Ken Moore and Dan Brown on the South Hobart bench, just intimating as much, having a bit of a laugh.
I was realising this year I'm going to miss the Joel Stone v Dogger Brown, who's the master of the dark arts session that we usually see between those two.
I think it was a bit of mutual admiration. Obviously Brown not pleased that he's seen the free kick go the other way, but I think you can admire a fellow exponent of it, shall we say. As this one's topped up by Bidwell. Nice attack on it by Havane, and Iski Van Dorn with the first chance for the Canadian to try and make something happen. Away by Mulroney, only as far as De Sousa. Couldn't find Walter. Had him in space. Dom Smith able to cut it out.
Come on, you Reds!
Syson bursting forward. Fitzgerald ignores that option and glides inside instead. Couldn't get around the Brazilian. Billy De Sousa doing nicely. Walter's pass for Morton. Turner with a quick flick on. Such a real weapon in his arsenal. Loves those little first-time flicks. Jack Turner, we've seen him lead to many a goal. Here's Daniel Syson driving down the wing, and De Sousa will just step in and see that into touch.
De Sousa, who we saw play in centre-back mainly last year, has really solidified that defensive midfield position, vacated by Kobe Kemp in the off-season. Now Fitzgerald, loose touch, which Gorry will knock out for a throw. It's been a welcome addition to the South Hobart lineup. It'll be Dom Smith. No one tracked the run of Fitzgerald there. Flying through the air was the archer. Morton to Van Dorn. Looks up and only has Turner in advance, trying to get the return ball. Goes, drops the step over on Joel Stone, but Stoney's not falling for that trick. Connor Park to take the throw in. Rocking the standard red and black Predator boots, which I'm a big fan of. Not sure if they're the new replica ones. Stone to Park. Hingston, I don't think that was his intended target, but it worked out fairly well. Thomas tries to whack it clear, but whacks it into the behind of Nick Morton. Stone. As Carno hoiks that one forward. Sends Bidwell a task against Havinen. Both jump for it. And they fall to South Hobart. And there's De Sousa. Can't get that one under control. Stone. Wants an option for an easy pass here. Does get fouled afterwards. South Hobart fans intimating there was a dive from Joel Stone.
Yeah, better say the locals aren't through with it. There was some contact on the leg, our camera angle. We probably needed the opposite one, to be honest. It was the back leg that got hit, and it gave him the excuse to go down. Sison swings in a dangerous looking ball. Falls to Stone, deflects, and that'll be behind for a corner. There's another testing delivery from Daniel Sison. He'll get another look at it here from the corner. Yeah, we'll look at Joel Stone. Well, that won't tell you anything. Too many obstacles in the way of that one is Daniel Sison. Halfway point just about of the first half here. Devonport knocking on the door. Sison swings it in. Kingston gets his head to it, but it was always drifting wide. Big Leonidas winning the ball in the air, but can't quite find the target on this occasion.
Good purchase on it there from Hingston. It was point for Al. Look to get this one forward to Havainen. It's going to sit up a tad in the win. Havainen unintentionally with the back heel to get it to Turner. And it falls to Thomas. He wants to look wide in the Walter direction. Dom Smith gets in front. Now Gorry. Morton sends Walter a task, which he'll happily chase. Does keep it in. Walter. Smith tries to go around Morton. He wasn't falling for that one. The Morthog's still going here. Gempoli. Only a bit of footwork. And Gorry will eventually clear that one. Composure in tight areas from Gempoli's been a real feature I've noticed in the first 24 minutes.
Very easy on the eye, Gempoli, the way he plays his football. Fitzgerald cops that one, charging it down. Talking about Joel Stone's dark arts credentials earlier, just noticing he's off the ball about half a second before the player's about to get rid of it, just clapping at them. Just a big clap. He's done it 3 times I've noticed here in the last few minutes. That is just the sort of stuff we love here at Slice of Cheese. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to achieve, but maybe it'll force some doubt into the mind. I don't know.
There was a trick back in a futsal dark art trigger. As soon as someone's about to pull the trigger, if you're about just too far away, just stamp on the wooden floor as hard as possible near them. It kind of reminds me of an outdoor version of that.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going for, just trying to jolt them a little bit as Devonport trying to attack down the flanks here. Adam Gorry comes in strongly there on Fitzgerald, and a free kick blown. And another good opportunity for the strikers from the dead ball.
Thought Gorry got the ball there then, but then he gets some player afterwards, but I don't think he got the ball first there, did Gorry? Probably be a corner anyway, so.
That can make a huge amount of difference, a few metres I suppose.
We're not quite in the territory of counting every corner like we were last weekend.
He certainly had a few last week, as this one's curled in near post. Oscar Thomas defended that nicely, attacked well. Fitzgerald leads to Sousa to the ball, turns him. It's Max Fitzgerald just dinking one, looking, his forwards had stayed up, found only Kieran Brown. The archer across to Adam Gorry. He goes long, Iski Van Dorn is surrounded by the yellow shirts here, so just did well to take it back, but his pass was an errant one. Pinballs off a couple, lands for Joel Stone, dispossessed by Nick Morton. Managed to work it to DeSouza. And DeSouza spreads it out wide for Walker. Jack Turner making a nice little run for him, worked it that way. Van Dorn back to Walter. Iski Van Dorn back now to Gorry. Worked it all the way back to the centre half. Bowman and Thomas, and now they've coughed it up. A lot of hard work for no reward there for South, and that was clever from Joel Stone. Flicked it through for Eddie Bidwell. Nick Morton back there. Bidwell takes him on and puts the cross in. Oh, Bowman didn't deal with it. Comes out as far as Stone. Spies a little bit of room for Giampoli. Looking to combine with Sison. Just couldn't quite find the return ball. They're threatening here, the strikers.
Really building up to a goal here. The strikers just looking a bit more fluid in attack, but as soon as we say that, South looking to get forward. Iski Van Dorn up against Park. Elects to go inside. Liscano read that one like a book. Looks up and doesn't have a huge amount of options, does the centre-back. Bidwell's offering short. And eventually goes the ball down the line when he drops short. Bidwell getting in some space down that right-hand side. Well, I'm a bit worried for Bowman there. You've seen that ball jump up and hit an errant hand many situations as De Souza tried to find Walter. Not very happy with the lack of crispness in the passing of the South Hobart faithful. Again, Oscar Thomas turning it over. Gempoli gets in front of him. Bowman pushes him over, not given from the referee. And they will win a corner. Will the Strikers, their 6th of the afternoon already. Gempoli just got goal side. Bowman coming in. Probably needs a little more contact than that for it to be a penalty. And as Saladar Sison will come over this one. Devonport streaming forward in numbers. 6 or 7 up in the box. We'll see what the win will do from this set piece. And Sison goes near post, cleared by the Archer. Iski Van Dorn gets in front. Nick Morton there throwing the block NBA style. Sison. It's out of play. Very good screen set there from Morton.
Lovely screen play from Warthog. Park with the throw in. Bidwell surrounded, so instead he goes shorter for Daniel Sison. Back for Park. Just undercooked his pass a little looking for Bidwell, but then he coughed it up to Lascano. Here's Fitzgerald to Giampoli. Fitzgerald right up against the line here, and he's coughed that one up. It's been a pretty scrappy first half hour here in Truthball. Both teams one of their best, and perhaps the cagey kind of game we anticipated it might have been.
I was just thinking in my mind comparing this game to even Friday nights between Knights and Kingborough, where teams were happy to stroke it around the back as we're seeing now. I think there was just considerably less pressure on, and then as soon as the pressure's applied, both teams just struggling to find a teammate. And even without pressure like Thomas there, just ones like that going 1, 2, 3 centimetres either side of where they're intending. I've not seen an NPL TAS game with this many turnovers, unforced errors, to use a tennis term, in quite some time. Savinen finds Farrell, now Morton, trying to find the returner, Jack Turner. Park just whacked that into Sison's arm. Stone with a lovely turn, wants the foul, not getting that, Joel Stone. Turner, Alex Walter, lovely slide rule ball to Van Dorn at the byline. Got Park for company. Back to Morton. Walter. South Hobart finally getting the ball in their 18-yard box. Crunching challenge there from Sison. Shouts for a free kick from the crowd.
I think they're probably reasonable shouts. I don't think he gets the ball at all there. That's fairly blatant anyway. De Souza on the volley. Always rising and well wide of the mark. Yeah, I think Sison a little bit lucky to get away with that one. That should have been a big tick against his name. Not a slice, and very, very late. Very unnecessary too there.
Nowicki-esque.
From the Saladar, just maybe drawn inspiration from him as Smith takes the ball by Bowman. Wants to throw in, and he gets it. Played it off of Dom Smith quite nicely there. Half an hour gone, 0-0 the score. Adam Gorry for Walter. Scrapping with Dom Smith. They've had some great battles over the last few years, those two. Now, Jack Turner just let it run a little too far. Let in Giampoli. Giampoli needs some support from Fitzgerald. It came. Lascano with a very short pass, and in the end it's going to be brought back. Kieran Mulroney. Opposite for Lascano. Lascano with a poor ball for Bidwell. Did him no favours there. Been working hard down this flank, Bidwell. Changing up and down, but hasn't quite been able to leave his mark on the contest yet. Morton. Farrell. Van Dorn. Off the shoulder of Hingston. Chested by Jack Turner. Good use of the pecs there. It's a handball. A fairly obvious one. Michelle Stone continuing his running battle with Dan Brown on the South Hobart touchline. Plenty to say between those two. You can keep the dog out of the fight, but you can't keep the fight out of the dog ball.
You absolutely cannot. That's a risky back pass towards Pitchford. Wants it on his left peg. Goes in the Hingston direction. Souser gets in front. Fitzgerald. Keeps control, back to Smith. Lascano was in a good pocket of space in the centre of the park. Hingston. Giampoli with a lovely flick. Bowman's probably going to get there in front. Gorry splits 4 Devonport players and wins the foul. Mulroney a tad late on De Souza. South Hobart with a chance to get bodies in the box. They haven't had too many clear-cut opportunities or set-piece chances so far. That one big save from Pitchford aside.
He probably had the best chance of the game from that one, but they haven't been flowing. Pitchford was absolutely outstanding on that occasion. So Adam Gorry probably favoured to swing this one in, the fullback. He's got 6 to pick out. He's in the Turner direction. Pitchford away convincingly. First time pass from Fitzgerald across to Stone, who looked to turn and go. Just held up by Esky Van Zorn. Well, just to delay his progress here and allow the South Hobart defence to shift back. Stone again now having a run at the Frenchman. Didn't get the better of him though. Loic Farrell takes the points on that occasion. Lascano hooks his foot around it. Bowman nods back for Brown. Forces him to scramble, but he'll get there easily enough. So Bowman carrying out here. The Archer draws back the bow and unleashes the arrow to unlock Adam Gorry. He's got Walter in the middle, and it's a great stretch from Lascano. At full stretch and takes a fair chunk out of the Darcy Street turf while he's at it.
That's quite the divot he's got to repair there, Lascano. That is SCG-esque there from Lascano. Still trying to put that in. South Hobart with their first corner of the match. Devonport with every player back in the 18-yard box. There's Gorry. Goes out to Van Dorn, who hits it first time back into the box, but that goes to no one in particular. Pitchford will let that one run out for a goal kick. I think something they'd seen on the training ground there from South Hobart.
So 2 shots apiece through 34 minutes here. But, as we said, we weren't expecting a shootout, but very much a game dominated by the defences to this stage.
You do rarely get a 0-0 draw at halftime in the NPL TAS.
Well, we really had the very rare 0-0 yesterday. Olympia striking in the 87th minute. Jonathan Mulungala with a crucial goal that's sent the Warriors to the top of the table, at least temporarily. 3 points for either of these sides today would change that. So that's Lascano to Park. Shut down by Thomas. Connor Park again. So Lascano. Now Kieran Mulroney. Now for Dom Smith. Smith for Bidwell. Giampoli left it for Leonidas. He couldn't find Eddie Bidwell as he's just switched up flanks there with Fitzgerald, getting no enjoyment out of the opposite matchups. So just flip those two there. As this one's worked in the Hingston direction. Finds Bidwell. Bidwell to Stone. Just lofts one up towards an offside Todd Hingston, so that'll be brought back. I think he was well aware he'd strayed there for King Leonidas.
Esky Van Dorn has switched up with Alex Walter as well. We haven't seen a huge amount of Walter except after the first 10 minutes. Where he was combining, as always, with Adam Gorry. Well, name we haven't called much. Kieran Brown takes the free kick. Lascano underneath it. Turner challenging. Turner wins the second ball. Park gets in front of Walter. Sison whacks it into his own teammate in the end. Jack Turner turns it over and Sison gets his head up immediately but sees that there isn't too many people in front of him. Fitzgerald will try against Loic Farrell. Farrell TV cleans up well. Park to Fitzgerald. No one in the centre of the box for the Strikers. Good ball down the line. Stone and Giampoli. That's not going to suit anyone crossing like that from Stone. Bidwell retrieves it. Looks to run at Gorry. De Souza coming across to help. Again, Strikers. And they look to change direction. One's Carno. Errant pass. Will fall to Smith. Smith Giampoli gets around the archer. De Souza coming across to cover. Tried to knock it off the striker, but concedes the corner.
Another corner opportunity for the strikers who've really shaded the first half here, but as we've said, no real dominant side and not a lot of clear-cut chances, but they've got opportunity to send the ball in here. Giampoli looking for Lascano. Might fall for Fitzgerald, who's just going to smash it with the laces, and Kieran Brown gets down. One that he should be saving, but did so. Stretches across and puts it behind for a corner. I'll just pick this one up a little bit late round, but did it nicely enough. In the end, Fitzgerald driving that one as the strikers, they're threatening.
Yeah, really building into this game nicely are the strikers. Really hoping to pinch one before half-time. Sison goes near post header from Dom Smith. Goes right up in the air. Mulroney battling with De Souza. Turner. Iski Van Dorn finally clears. Morton. I think that copped a deflection. Bidwell plays it out to the salad artist. Puts it through the legs of Havinen. Alex Walter. Furthest one back for South Hobart. Not something you see too often. I think with their possession and the way they've played the last 5 minutes, the strikers really want to get a goal before the half. You know what South Hobart like towards the end of the game. As De Souza goes to Turner, really wanted that one to Van Dorn. Gorry's in a good pocket of space. The Canadian was under-hit that one significantly.
It just sums up the first half. I mean, really, there was a promising move. They had the numbers flowing forward on that right-hand side, but just two mis-hit passes. They had two chances to spring someone and couldn't complete either of them. Just been slightly off with their passing, both these sides today. It's the occasion getting to a few of them. They know what's at stake. This is a big six-pointer, despite the early stage of the season. Whenever these two teams meet this year, they're going to be very important clashes. This one's worked back for Giampoli. Poor ball cut out by Farrell. Jack Turner used his body well, shifting into space. Mulroney. Nice little intervention there. Iski Van Dorn. His cross charged down. He'll get another crack at it though, Van Dorn, and this is a better looking one. Pitchford comes across and clasps it out of the air nicely. Hasn't had a lot to do, Pitchford, but what he's had to do, he's done very nicely so far. Commanding presence back there. He'll be called into action again as Park knocks it back to him, launches it long. Havinen up against Fitzgerald. Just didn't judge the bounce particularly well there, Toby Havinen. And it's going to be Daniel Sison back to Fitzgerald. Max Fitzgerald to Connor Park. Park for Smith. It's a slow build up and it allows Adam Gorry just to jump on it. Out wide for Jack Turner. Turner swings the ball for Alex Walter. It's Alex Walter! I think got two minds. Do I chest it down and volley it or just go for the header? I went for the header. They didn't get the purchase he was after.
He was in a good pocket of space there, Alex Walter. Connor Park and Mulroney not quite on the same wavelength. Mulroney wanting to play offside. Park dropped about 10 yards deep. Allowed the attack to advance. In the end, it comes to nothing as Hingston looks for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald against Havinen. They're just whacking it into each other's ankles. Pretty much tackles his ankles to the ground. Havinen, Joel Stone, partisan home crowd enjoying that. Joel Stone thought about trying to get that away from coach Ken Morton and then thought better of it. It's going to take a lot to get the ball away from the Silver Fox.
I'm loving this running battle between Stone and the South Hobart bench, namely Docker Brown. Every time he's come to this side of the pitch there, it's been words exchanged. Havinen will try and get this one. Just keeps it in play. Park marshalling him closely. Alex Walter. It's just stayed in. Still he continues, Walter. And then Lascano with a poor challenge. That was sloppy, pretty unnecessary, and gives South Hobart a free kick in a good position. Free kick all day long there from Lascano. As he gets a whole lot of the ball there. The Morthog really sizing this opportunity up. I reckon Jack Turner is the head to aim for. We've seen him make those doubting runs to the centre or the near post.
Morton to the near post, shank clearance. Bailed out by Hingston. Devine back to the keeper. Kieran Brown leaves that one long as Kano tries to get it under control. Going against Billy de Souza. South winning the throw. Mulroney wanted that one a little more than Walter. And Tony Pert just about blew that foul before Walter committed it. He knew exactly what he was going to do.
Walter arguing the point there as we have another look on the replay. Runs into him late with the shoulder.
Pert's arms are already out, but it's just as the camera gets there. And now Alex Walter was trying to give Tony Pert a trigonometry lesson there, and I think Tony knows all about angles.
Yeah, as you said, he was well aware what's going to happen there, and just arriving a little late was Alex Walter, who now looked to apply the pressure on Lascano. Dying embers of the first 45 here. Pitchford pitching one in there to Sison. Park forced to wait for it, did pretty well in the end. Further afield to Fitzgerald. Trying to wriggle free of Nick Morton, couldn't do so. Charles Stone just applauding that decision, right under Nick Morton's nose. Two of the great antagonists. There's Park.
Probably wiser to wind up the bench rather than Nick Morton, especially we saw in the first round against Olympia. Really turned it on that last 10 minutes once the Bronx cheers erupted from the wet area.
Well, I think Joel Stone's much the same type of player. He's someone I just wouldn't be saying Bo Peep to. He wants you to engage. He wants you trying to play those mind games. He loves it, thrives off it. Competitive animal, Joel Stone.
It's a highlight getting that on the national scene last year, the FFA Cup game over in Melbourne. Walter to the Morthog, looks to play in Turner. The two number 8s going at it, and Mulroney clears that one.
Such a reliable defender, isn't he, Kieran Mulroney?
Vinen. Turner controlling the ball well. Vine's got the opportunity to put it in, elects to take a touch, and that allowed the Saladar to Sison in. Walter now falls to Toby Vinen, wants to put it on his right peg. Stone knocks that one off the South Hobart defender, who looks flummoxed by that decision. Park to Sison, trying to use his body well. There was Fitzgerald, but Feral TV saw that one the whole way. As we tick into stoppage time here at Darcy Street. Fitzgerald getting in front of the ball. Feral TV winning that ball well. Vinen not really reading the play as quickly as his teammate. Fitzgerald sliding in, then randomly headbutting Ferrell's leg for reasons I really don't understand. You know, and that's the move. Always Morton, Turner, they're on here, South Hobart. Walter to Iski Van Dorn at the back post, deflected. Cross from Park, and it rolls harmlessly to Pitchford. Max Fitzgerald there doing one of the weirder moves I've seen in the NPL TAS this season.
Yeah, just introducing his head to the leg of Feral TV there, and a heart and mouth moment at the other end for Pitchford as he started to move one way and saw the ball swimming back the other. Had enough to see it through to him as he lost his footing. Just sat in the middle of the box, would have been an interesting one in dispute. Here's Dom Smith to Todd Hingston. Hingston, ball for Fitzgerald. Stone back to Park. Half time imminent here at Darcy Street. It's been a scrappy old affair. How many fouls is that for the half, Webby?
13.
13. That is significant. It has been a scrappy old affair, that's for sure, and probably a few missed in amongst that as well. It's been a chippy kind of an affair. Both teams certainly happy to put the body on the line, and really seeing teams flooding forwards here, not wanting to be caught out at the back, but it'll probably be Devonport with the last chance of the first half here to try and produce something. Daniel Sison over the dead ball. He punches this one to the top of the box. Headed back down. Rolled back for Joel Stone. It sat for him, but he couldn't quite pick it out. The bottom corner, he put the laces through it, and that'll be all she wrote for the first 45 here at Darcy Street. A big chance left for Stone on the stroke of half time, but he's not the man to break the deadlock At half-time here, it is stalemate. 0-0 between South Hobart and Devonport, and both teams will be searching for improvement in the second 45 ball.
I think I wouldn't like to guess what the pass completion percentage was in that half. It would be pretty low, I would imagine, but both teams are looking to play a little more direct than we often see them play, not really stroking the ball around the back as much. Devonport did really get on top that sort of 25 to 40 minute mark of the game. Pitchford made one big save, 2 half chances, especially that one to Stone towards the end there, but overall a scrappy affair here at Darcy Street, but all to play for here in this game. It will probably just take a moment of magic from someone to break the deadlock. And to be fair, the best thing about that first half was Stone v the bench.
Yeah, and look, these games have been, every time they've played in recent times, they've been close ones. There's been plenty of late drama, and it might be once again today that we'll get to the final 10 minutes of the game, and that's when it will be settled. We'll leave you with the first half highlights here from Darcy Street. Plenty of strong challenges in there, I suspect, but no goal action to show just yet. Half time at Darcy Street. It's South Hobart 0, Devonport 0.
Just on it.
Pressure Morton in space now, just chips one in the box. Tom Smith stretching in it there. Darcy Hall checks inside, back for DeSalza. What a save, Pitchford! Ball in here, Giampoli looking for Lascano. Might fall for Fitzgerald, who's just going to smash it with the laces, and Kieran Brown gets down. His cross charged down. He'll get another crack at it though, Van Dorn, and this is a better looking one. Pitchford comes across and clasps it out of the air nicely. There's this one to the top of the box. Headed back down. Rolled back for Joel Stone. It sat for him, but he couldn't quite pick it out. The bottom corner, he put the laces through it, and that'll be all she wrote for the first 45 here at Darcy. And we are back for the second 45 minutes here at Darcy Street. 0-0 the score. No goals to speak of in the first half. Very few chances to speak of. True. Who's going to be able to come out in this second half and break things open? Will it be the hosts or